Hello friends and wonderful people, welcome to part 2 of my Tales from the Comment section for Star Wars The Last Jedi. Also want to give you a fair spoiler warning, there are going to be some spoilers in these comments, just so you know. I feel like if you were going to watch The Last Jedi, you have watched it by now. In a world where my parents have seen The Last Jedi by now, I feel like 100% of the people who would watch this video have seen it. Douchey me, are you ready? No! So let's get to Tales from the Comment section. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Part 2. Yo! Snoke didn't link Rey and Kylo Ren. He lied. Well, of the 5 stages of acceptance, you're in denial right now. A lot of people online, they've hit anger. There's a petition to get Rian Johnson's episode 8 wiped from canon. I would say they're in bargaining. Then people will reach depression and then acceptance. And I'm certainly not exempt from this. When I watched the movie and I was like, maybe there's something I missed. I should watch it again. That was me in the bargaining phase of acceptance also. So, been there. Nah. He threw the lightsaber because Ben used it and it reminded him of Ben. Now there is a rumor online that the lightsaber that Ben Solo used to block Luke Skywalker's strike in that flashback scene is that blue lightsaber. And at first I was like, is that the blue lightsaber? But I saw a screen cap of it and it doesn't look like that blue lightsaber. It happens so fast, it's really hard to tell. It would make sense in Kylo Ren going, that lightsaber, that belongs to me. But I always thought it was like a birthright thing, which then negates the whole birthright thing and it being Darth Vader's lightsaber or Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, his grandfather. So I just think it was just an attempt at humor. It was just a metaphor for, hey, you expect what? Hot. What was the point of Luke apologizing to Leia about having to kill Kylo when he wasn't even physically there to harm him? I agree with you on that. There's also the line Luke Skywalker says to Kylo Ren, something like, strike me down and I will always be with you like your father. But really, that can't happen because he's not there, so why did he even say that? Again, the balance between going in an unexpected direction and giving fans payoff. Luke died because making a force projection of himself across the galaxy used up all of his energy. I got that. I also remember Luke Skywalker saying he came to that island to die, not even counting the fact that there are enough cliffs on this thing to get the job done. If you want to die, there are ways to take care of that there. The fact remains, he could have just force projected himself and then ended up killing himself for becoming one with the force. I don't know why he didn't do that. Jeremy. Have the balls to give a rating already! This comment was actually in my spoiler review, the video where I actually do rate the movie. So, how about having the balls to watch a video before you comment? Just saying. Hux kind of annoys me because he screams all the time. Oh, so now you see what it's like. Okay, all right. That was well played. I do tend to project. All right, good for you. You take a victory lap, my man. You misspelled Hux. Kylo Ren quoted Darth Vader when he was trying to convince Rey to rule the galaxy together. Just like Anakin said to Padme.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Guess rebels feel pretty stupid for not kamikaze hyperdriving through Death Star back in the day. Maybe, but I do give this one a pass. Or if it's a flaw, it's not a flaw created by The Last Jedi. That's a flaw created by the original Star Wars movie. In the original Star Wars A New Hope, Han Solo's talking about how he has to chart the course to light speed, and Luke's like, why not just do it? Han Solo says something along the lines that light speed ain't like dust and crops, boy. If you don't do it right, if you don't chart the course, you can run through an asteroid or fly through a star, and that'll end your trip real quick. So we see right there, in the original Star Wars, it does say that light speed ships can hit matter and hit objects, and if an object's going that fast, yeah, it'll blast right through. So the fact that they didn't actually take a ship and ram it into light speed through the original Death Star in the original movie, that's a plot hole created by the original movie. The Last Jedi is just taking that concept and doing something with it. So I give props to The Last Jedi for that. I have faith that J.J. Abrams is not done with Snoke. We'll find out more about him in episode 9. Oh, I do agree that that is a possibility, but if that does happen, that's J.J. Abrams going, look man, I wasn't done with Snoke. I'm bringing him back somehow. Thanks Rian Johnson for killing him. You didn't mention the Kid with the Broom, and what are your thoughts about it? I imagine that is some solid setup for the books. The Casino Planet scene was there to reveal a new side to this universe away from the Empire Rebel thing. New bad guys, if you will. Why does nobody notice this? Yeah, I think people see it. They get it. It's just terribly executed. I mean, for example, the prequels introduced a new angle to everything with space politics. Just because you introduce a new angle doesn't mean it's well executed. And I just do not think, what's it called, Canto Bite? Or I don't think that was well executed, no. Man that was not in the army. When you're in a fight, you do not discuss orders, you fulfill them. Well, it's true, I was not in the military, and if this is any indication, it's probably best because I probably question every stupid order I get. But this comment almost implies we're holding Star Wars to the letter of military law. So at that point, are you gonna tweet Rian Johnson and be like, man who was not in the military? When someone commits mutiny, they're to be executed for treason. At that point, are you gonna start some sort of petition to have Poe Dameron executed in the movies? Keep in mind, Rian Johnson was never in the military either, so it's just a scriptwriter making a story arc. The fact that it doesn't line up with military procedure is not why it doesn't make sense. The fact that Laura Dern's character was being uselessly secretive, unnecessarily secretive, that's why it's stupid. I think the awkward kiss was kind of the point. She likes him, he doesn't like her. Well, then my question would be, why even have the kiss? It just makes it awkward. Why not have the line, we fight for the things we love, and have that be enough? You kind of know where she's coming from. There's no weird awkward kiss to make the moment weird as they're blowing a hole in the rebel base. But in a world where it's all about execution, that just wasn't well executed. Finn and Rose's arc being pointless is the whole point of the arc, though. Sometimes the solution doesn't work. It's a subversion of our expectations, just like much of the movie. You do know, and I have to address this, if you are going to make the excuse, well, it being pointless was the point of it in the movie, you have to give that break to every other movie that might have something pointless, useless, or stupid in it too. Because it could be done for anything. Just like the people in Twilight were supposed to be emotionless and indifferent because it's a parallel to how they're detached from humanity and people don't get them. They're in a world that's not like that. You see, you can always do that. Or how about this one? In Batman and Robin, Mr. Freeze was supposed to have cheesy ass humor because he's emotionless and he doesn't actually get humor, so he's trying to emulate it. So it makes sense. No, it doesn't. It's stupid fucking writing. Hold it to a standard. The dumb Canto Bight planet was created to sell a book, and the story arc Finn and Rose were on was completely useless and wasted John Boyega's talent. Not a good reviewer if you withhold your judgment on a film just to see it again to convince yourself that you like it more. This is actually a really loaded comment for me, but I didn't hold out on rating the movie because I wanted to like it more. I just wanted to see it again to be sure about the reasons it didn't actually resonate well with me. And that was just initially. Then when the reviews went live and a lot of people I know, colleagues, were like, this is the best Star Wars movie, I was like, okay, obviously there was something I missed, so I really need to see this movie again. I need to see what wasn't working here. Then I watched it and I was like, I don't see what they see. But they see what they see and I see what I see. Which is a bummer because that was an admitted moment of, I think, very human self-doubt, and I shouldn't have done that. Should have been like, I know exactly what we're going for. Done it with confidence like I did when I reviewed Suicide Squad. This was the first time I got where Star Trek fans were coming from when they saw the Abrams Star Trek movie and they were like, this is not Star Trek. I feel like that's what this is. This is not Star Wars. In the sense that every Star Wars trilogy before and every chapter in those trilogies, every chapter was its own chapter, but it springboarded off of what came before it, and it left room for what was coming after it. The prequels, for all their flaws, are moving forward to a conclusion. I feel like Rian Johnson, when making this movie, was like, all right, Abrams, what you were setting up, not going there. In fact, what's coming after this, don't care. I'm making this isolated box island of a movie. And it threw me off at first. I was like, I didn't just see that. I think that's unfair. In order for a Star Wars movie to work, I feel like everybody probably should have had a powwow, a confab, and been like, this is where we're going. So let's stay on that path. I walk out into a world where people are praising a Star Wars movie for going in bold new directions, and in the end, the thing that happened that they're talking about, the bold new directions, the fact that Snoke was killed. What else are they talking about if not that? I mean, I guess the point of unexpected is this movie isn't some bold new direction with Star Wars. There were just unexpected things that happened in it. I didn't expect Snoke to die. I didn't expect Rey's parents to be nobodies. I didn't expect Luke to force project. Other than that, what else is unexpected? I didn't expect the Resistance to slowly escape the First Order that would follow them slowly also. I didn't expect a stupid gambling planet. I just feel like these unexpected actions that happened in the movie are passing the movie off as some brilliant, great movie. Unexpected doesn't mean good. But in the end, you could have Snoke beat Kylo Ren to death with a box of dildos. It'd be unexpected, wouldn't make it good. So right there, you can see there's a difference between unexpected and good. The other thing I see for people like, no, that was bold, new, and it was unexpected, is the whole Canto Bight thing and Finn and Rose's arc and how in the end it was completely useless. People are like, yeah, it was useless. Ain't that brilliant? I just don't know how that's brilliant other than the argument of, well, they failed and you didn't see that coming. It's new. That would be to imply failure is new in Star Wars. Like when Imperial troops invaded the Hoth base. Luke failing at his trial. Luke facing Vader and failing there. Han frozen in carbonite and Leia fails to rescue him. This doesn't even count the prequels.
Failed.
where the Jedi completely and totally failed. If for nothing else, think of this. The Phantom Menace is a Star Wars movie, but the unexpected direction was taken with midichlorians. Did anyone go into the Phantom Menace expecting microscopic bacteria to explain the connection between the Force and people? No, that's an unexpected thing. Ergo, the Phantom Menace is good? No, so that's also another thing I was struggling with, was like there are things in The Last Jedi that irritated me that parallel irritations I had with the prequels. And if they irritate me in the prequels, they have to irritate me here. But I also feel like people who give it a pass here have to give it a pass for the prequels. It's just The Last Jedi put me in a very interesting mindset, so I just needed to watch it a couple times before I actually committed. Again, it's the conflict in my head of, is this a good movie? And if so, is it a good Star Wars movie? You can be one without the other. And that's how I see this movie, a fine sci-fi movie, but it's not really a Star Wars movie to me. I will give this new trilogy props in being unexpected at the fact that they're killing off the entire old crew. When you see interviews of Kathleen Kennedy, and they're talking about how Kathleen Kennedy is gonna take the characters George created and bringing them to a new generation, they're just killing them off, and I just step back and I go, I'm not feeling resolution with these deaths. I feel more resolution in leaving them in Return of the Jedi. Where they left off in Return of the Jedi gave me resolution for their characters. Then you just rehash them and you're killing them off in very unfulfilling ways. That resolution's now gone forever with their characters. I don't like that. I'd rather just be like, nope, Return of the Jedi ended there. But ultimately, I'm pretty proud of my Star Wars spoiler review. I addressed a lot of things that bothered me in the movie. And in the end, I rated it a good time, no alcohol required, because I do find it a fine sci-fi movie, but it really isn't what I know to be a Star Wars movie. All right, folks, so that is it for my tales from the comments section for The Last Jedi. I got a little long-winded at the end, but I figure if I'm gonna put a bow on this thing, I'm gonna put a bow on it. That's just how I feel. Granted, I can do one every week because the comments keep pouring in, and the more people who watch it, the more people bring things up, the more people react to that, the more comments I get. So this could really keep going every week. It's not going to necessarily go every week, but I wanted to give you 2 videos instead of 1. But I really want to know what you guys think about it, and since Star Wars The Last Jedi is a couple weeks old at this point, if you can tweet this out, pass it around, that would really help me out too. I'd appreciate that help. All right, so Star Wars The Last Jedi. Have you seen it again? Have you seen it a couple times? Has your opinion changed? Really curious about that. Was your opinion solidified when you saw it the second time? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here. Oh shit. I totally forgot you were there the entire time. I got a little long-winded. I was like in the zone. I really feel bad. I'm sorry. I solved a Rubik's Cube during your speech. Do you want the outro? You can do the outro. You can like punt. Go for it. It's all you. That's right. That's acceptable tribute. As always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.